everyone. This is Shiyama Marikkar. Very good evening. Welcome back to School of Thought with Shiyama Marikkar, special edition of School of Thought, Sustainable Horizon, where we talk about the real stories, where we look beyond the statistics and policy documents to explore the real human stories, passion, and purpose driving global change. This exclusive education forum is powered by IPRH. Let me share a brief discussion about IPRH. IPRH is an education research and consultant center founded by Professor Dr. Mohammad Shairis Parvez. He is the CEO and the founder of the organization. It is government registered organization and its objectives are to advance and spread knowledge of various national and international business settings and trends through research, academic collaboration, and business engagement. The main goal of IPRH is to enlighten the independent perception of individual thoughts by sharing news, research news, providing training, brainstorming, and research project consultation with innovative ideas and organized talk shows with different research people from different areas around the world. So, interested true research scholars are most welcome to join IPRH and follow this page and share your innovative ideas and research and contribute to the society and the world because IPRH believes that knowledge is power. In aligned with IPRH mission and vision, in this forum we talk about education and lifestyle. Today, a special day because we are sitting down here to have a conversation that is long overdue. A deep dive into Sustainable Development Goal number 5, gender equality. Whether it's talking about who holds the mic in leadership, who carries the load at home, who gets access to digital tools in an automated world, gender equity touches us every day. It lives us in many ways that we don't notice, but it does exist. We aren't here today just to cite statistics or talk about ideals. We are here to look at the practical reality. What does empowering every woman and girl actually look like in our communities, workplaces, and daily routines? We have got an exciting lineup of guests in the studio today who are driving change on the ground. Let's jump right into the conversation. And please help me welcome our wonderful guest, Professor Dr. Liancio Caldren, all the way from Philippines, and Professor Dr. Cherry Joan from Vietnam. Yes, very warm welcome. Very good evening to both of you. Yes, thank you for joining with us this evening, even though it's very late there. Yes, I appreciate it. Yes, first let me start with Professor Noil. Let me give a brief description about him. And Professor, and then I think you can hear me, right?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Professor Dr. Liancio Caldren, or Sir Noli, we call him, is one of the architects of a proactive, flexible, and relevant education of St. Mark Integrated School, where he serves as its vice principal. He is a multi awarded educator, regular speaker, moderator, host, and trainer with International Internship University and James International School, Bliss Education Center, the Great Idea Events Management Services, and United Humanitarian Organization, and Walk Through Education. Yes, I would like to ask you have all this experience with leadership, and I'm sure you must have been working with very different level of peoples with women especially. So I would like to ask you, how can we dismantle the structural barriers that keep women out of leadership and executive decision making roles?
Yes, thank you for that beautiful question, Dr. Shiyama. So when you talk about gender equality, I think we have two gentlemen and two ladies here, so it equals out having two females and two males. So that's the start of a gender equality for now. So I'm just making something light now. I'm fond of humor as well because that's also how I've been known when I host and moderate webinars and seminars. Good day, everyone. I'd like to begin with a simple question. Have you ever worked with a woman who had excellent ideas, inspired the people around her, and consistently delivered results, yet somehow was never given the opportunity to lead? Many of us probably have. When we see this happen repeatedly, we have to ask ourselves, is this really a lack of ability, or are there barriers within organizations and society that make leadership opportunities harder to reach for women? Today, I'd like to share a few practical ways we can help dismantle those barriers. First, we need to recognize that talent is everywhere, but opportunities are not always distributed equally. Sometimes leadership positions are filled through informal networks, personal connections, or long standing traditions. Without realizing it, these practices can exclude capable women from being considered for executive roles. Instead, organizations should promote based on competence, performance, and leadership potential. When promotion processes are transparent and objective, everyone has a fair opportunity to succeed. Second, we need to invest in leadership development. Many women have the skills to lead, but may not always receive the same mentoring, coaching, or sponsorship that others receive. A mentor gives advice, but a sponsor does something even more powerful. They actively recommend someone for leadership opportunities. Organizations should intentionally create mentorship and sponsorship programs that prepare women for higher responsibilities and executive positions. Third, flexibility should not be viewed as a weakness. Many women balance professional responsibilities alongside family or caregiving responsibilities. Flexible work arrangements, parental leave for both men and women, and supportive workplace policies allow talented professionals to continue growing without having to choose between career and family. When workplaces support employees through different stages of life, organizations benefit by retaining experienced and capable leaders. Fourth, we should challenge unconscious bias. Sometimes people don't even realize they are making assumptions. For example, people may unconsciously associate leadership with being assertive or dominant. And when people display those same qualities, they may be judged differently. The solution is not simply awareness, but accountability. Hiring panels, promotion committees, and leadership evaluations should rely on clear standards rather than personal impressions. Finally, creating more women leaders creates a positive cycle. When young professionals see women serving as executives, presidents, directors, principals, or CEOs, leadership becomes something they can genuinely imagine for themselves. Representation matters because it expands what future generations believe it possible. In my own work in education, I see this every day. Schools have an important responsibility not only to teach academic knowledge, but also to model fairness, respect, and equal opportunity. When students see both men and women leading classrooms, managing schools, making decisions, and solving complex problems together, they learn that leadership is based on character, competence, and service, not gender. That lesson stays with them long after they leave school. Here in the Philippines, we have seen many women rise to the highest leadership positions. We had two women serve as presidents, Corazon Aquino and Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. We also see women leading major businesses, government agencies, schools, and nonprofit organizations. This shows that Filipino women have the capability to lead at the highest levels. However, despite these inspiring examples, women remain underrepresented in many executive and corporate board positions. Many still face challenges such as unequal access to leadership opportunities, balancing family responsibilities with career advancement, and unconscious bias in promotion decisions. Having a few successful women at the top is encouraging, but true equality remains creating systems where every qualified woman has the same opportunity to lead. As I conclude, I'd like to leave you with this thought. The question is not whether women are capable of leading. History and experience have already answered that. The Philippines have long been recognized as one of the more gender equal countries in Asia, but there is still work to do. Our goal should not simply be to celebrate a few exceptional women leaders. Instead, we should build organizations where leadership opportunities are open to every qualified person, regardless of gender. When we remove structural barriers, we strengthen our organizations, our communities, and ultimately our nation. The real question is whether we are willing to remove the barriers that prevent capable leaders from contributing their full potential. When organizations value fairness, invest in people, challenge bias, and create equal opportunities, everyone benefits, not just women, but the entire organization and the communities they serve. Leadership should never be limited by gender. It should be earned through integrity, competence, compassion, and the willingness to make a positive difference. Thank you and have a wonderful day. I'm Dr. Noil Caldren, Vice Principal of St. Point Integrated School from the Philippines. Good morning.
Thank you very much, sir, for that wonderful insight. Yes, indeed, you beautifully mentioned all the points that not only related to Philippines, it's also accessible to all, even other countries as well. Thank you so much for joining with us in this late night. Next, I would like to invite our second guest speaker. She is none other than our professor, Dr. Cherry June Maridable Taghoy, PhD, THD, and she is also my loving sister. She is author and multi-award winner. Thank you very much, ma'am, joining with us tonight. And I would like to ask you now, why is invisible, unpaid care work still heavily gendered? And how can policy transform it into shared responsibility? What is your take on this?
Thank you very much, Sister, for that wonderful question. So, good evening, everyone. Our distinguished organizers, IPRH, Professor Farvis, and Madam Sharma, fellow speakers. Thank you, po. And our honored guest, everyone joining us tonight. So, it's a privilege to be here and to have this meaningful conversation, actually. So, one of the most overlooked yet essential pillars of society is our unpaid care work. So every day, we can see millions of women around the world. They wake up before sunrise and they go to bed long after everyone else has fallen asleep. So they also prepare meals, they care for children, they look after aging parents, clean homes, they provide emotional support, and they manage households. These responsibilities are essential for the well being of families and communities. Yet, they often invisible, unpaid, and taken for granted. The question we must ask ourselves is, why is unpaid care work still heavily gendered in the 21st century? The answer lies in history, culture, and deeply rooted social expectations. So, for generations, caregiving has viewed as women's natural role rather than a shared family responsibility. So, boys and girls often grow up seeing different expectations. Girls are encouraged to nurture and care, while boys are often encouraged to prioritize careers and financial success. These stereotypes continue into the adulthood and influence workplaces, public policies, and even our homes. But times have changed. Today, women are leading businesses, conducting research, serving in government, educating future generations, and driving innovation. Yet, men still carry the majority of unpaid caregiving responsibilities. This double burden limits opportunities for career advancement, financial independence, education, leadership, and even personal well being. What is often forgotten is that unpaid care work has enormous economic values. So, if all the hours spent caring for families were counted as paid labor, they would contribute trillions of dollars to the global economy each year. Yet, because this work happens quietly behind closed doors, it is frequently excluded from economic statistics and public policy discussions. The good news is that change is possible. We all believe that, right? So governments can create policies that recognize and support caregiving through paid parental leave for both mothers and fathers, affordable childcare services, accessible elder care, flexible working arrangements, equal pay, and social protection for caregivers. There are not merely social benefits. Their investments in stronger economies and healthier communities. Employers also have an important role to play. Organizations that embrace flexible work schedules, family friendly workplaces, and inclusive leadership create environments where both women and men can balance professional responsibilities with family life. However, policy alone cannot solve this issue. Real transformation begins in our homes. We must raise sons who understand that washing dishes, changing diapers, cooking meals, and caring for elderly parents are not women's jobs. They are acts of love and shared responsibility. We must encourage daughters to pursue their dreams without feeling guilty for seeking support. Equality is not achieved when women simply work more outside the home while continuing to carry all the responsibilities inside it. Equality is achieved when responsibilities are shared fairly. So, as educators, community leaders, policymakers, and citizens, we all have the power to reshape cultural expectations. Every conversation, every policy, everything that we do, we should set an example that will help create a future where caregiving is respected rather than overlooked. The Sustainable Development Goals remind us that gender equality is not only a fundamental human right, it is essential for achieving sustainable development. When we reduce the burden of unpaid care work, we increase women's participation in education, leadership, entrepreneurship, and decision making. Society as a whole becomes stronger. So let us build a future where care is recognized as a valuable work, where fathers are celebrated for active caregiving, where mothers are supported rather than overwhelmed, and where children grow up believing that compassion and responsibility belong to everyone, not to one gender alone. Because true equality is not about asking women to carry more, it's about ensuring that everyone carries together. That is SGD 5. So thank you very much, and let us continue working toward a world where care is valued, shared, and recognized as the foundation of all most just, inclusive, and sustainable society.
Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Cherry. That was very powerful message. Yes, indeed, you beautifully highlighted the importance of changing our mindsets from stereotypes, right? The lifestyle should be changed. Men, women, they have to think differently. Thank you so much for that. With this, I would like to ask our audience if they have any questions for our speakers today. You can type the message in the chat box. Meanwhile, I would like to say that today we had another uh, guest speaker to join with us. Unfortunately, due to another commitment, he couldn't join tonight. Is if is there any question for our speakers today? Please type in your message. And thank you very much for joining with us, all the global audience. Yes. Do we have any questions? I hope no questions. Yes. Thank you anyway. So, as we come to the wrap up this session tonight, so I would say that this today's discussion on Sustainable Development Goal 5 is that one message stands out clearly is achieving true gender equality requires moving from promises to accountability, closing the leadership gap, recognizing unpaid labor, and ensuring equal economic access are not passive milestones. They demand active, sustained investment from leaders across every sector of society. We owe our sincere thanks to our panelists for providing such critical insights into where we stand now and where we must go next. Progress is possible,
Hmm.
but only when we treat gender equity as the shared human imperative that is. So thank you for joining us tonight. I'll join you with you next another episode with another panel of guests. Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Professor Noli and Professor Dr. Cherry.
Okay, thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Hope to see you. When are you coming over, going back to Quezon City, to Philippines, Professor
Sure,
Cherry?
sure, sure, sir. I will let you know. I would like to visit
Yeah.
you, yeah, these countries, and definitely I will let you know. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll keep in
We'll,
touch,
we'll,
Dr. Nolly.
yes, okay. So we just keep in touch. Thank you, Professor Cherry. Okay, take care.
Yeah.